Hello and welcome to Parallel Thoughts, a deck brewing series where me, NekroZach, and my co-host,
Some gnarly cards, aka Benson.
we come together to brew one deck out of two. So, Benson, who do we
Pawns.
got? Who do we got on the platter for tonight?
Well, I thought that we were doing a deck with the Abomination of Llanowar, but
Hmm.
now you're telling me that we're not.
Well, I assumed that we already had partner pairing figured out. Why would we need to bring the literal elf ball to the ball?
Because it's an elf ball. Like if you're making an elf ball deck, this is the encompass. This is an elf ball.
So,
I
are you telling me that what we agreed upon, taking and building two separate decks for this partner pairing, we're now taking two separate decks of two different commander pairings and making them into one.
I guess, man. Like what we have here, that's where we were like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fine. Yeah, this is stable. But now we're at a
So,
little bit of an impasse here.
so you mean to tell me that this is like the Inception elf deck?
I mean, like I probably won't agree with you with half the cards, but if you want to try to make it work, we can.
Well, that's what we're here to do, guys. Here at Parallel Thoughts, we bring you the best decks that you combine into one with duct tape.
Duct
With
tape.
that being said, let's go over the three possible, or well, I guess the two possible commander pairings that we can use. So I'll start with the first pairing of what's this Mira Thorn of the Glade, one in a black for a legendary creature, Elf Scout. Whenever Mira Thorn of the Blade or another elf you control dies, you may pay one colorless and one life. If you do, draw a card. It's a 1/2 and has partner. Their partner is Numa Joraga Chieftain for 2 and a green, legendary creature, elf warrior, 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay XX, where when you do, distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target elves. It also has partner. So that is the one set of commander pairing that we're going to try. Who's the other elf in the room?
Well, we have our elf horror, the Abomination of Llanowar. He is everything that I could ever want.
Is it
Like
a he or is it a they? I'm pretty sure
or
it's a
sorry,
they, right?
they, I guess, because we don't know. Yeah, we'll
There's
say
got
they.
there's got to be a couple genders in there.
You know what? Like I tried zooming in, I can't tell.
There's
But
a lot of arms.
vigilance and menace. And the Abomination of Llanowar's power and toughness are each equal to the number of elves you control, plus the number of elf cards in your graveyard.
All
The elf
right.
cometh.
So I feel like both of these, pairings or for commanders, I think can still work fairly well together. Mira, or however you say her name, wants elves to die, go to the graveyard so we can draw cards. Abomination of Llanowar wants elves to be literally anywhere on the field or graveyard.
I hope
And
you're ready because I wasn't planning on casting any elves. They were all just going right to the bin.
so I'll be doing all the heavy lifting.
I guess. I'm just here to have fun. I'm
All
gonna
right.
play elves for one black man, and I'll tell you why in a second.
Okay. Well, if you guys are following along with us at home, you can already see that we have two sections already planned out. We have our ramp and our card draw. Um, Moving forward, we're most likely going to do this where we agree off camera the cards that we're going to use for these two sections so we can bring you guys the pinnacle of just video commentary,
The prime
entertainment.
rib of the deck.
If you ever have any questions or want to know why a specific card is in either section, please feel free to reach out at us at NekroZach, at some gnarly cards,
You
or
can
into the
hound
night,
me on Reddit if you want at r/into the 99
or you
podcast.
can comment down below, and we'll respond to you and let you know why we chose A over B or B over C, or just skipped
Yeah,
everything and went straight to Z.
I feel like I have that kind of time. I could help out.
Cool. All right. So with those kind of disclaimers out of the way, Benson, do you want to tell me some things that you're deciding to use?
Well, it didn't really matter to me what elves went in here. You can go crazy with that all you want because my game plan was to put everybody into the bin nice and quick. So I have things like blackmail, thought seize, entomb, divest, raven's crime, Inquisition of Kozilek, everything that says target player. So now, of course, you could use it to get intel and whatnot, or do that to your opponents. However, I'm just getting elves into the bin for 1 black mana per card that I'm casting. So if I have a grip of elves and I have some black mana, I'm just going to use that black mana instead. I'm not going to worry about hard casting those elves because that's my version of this elf ball. Is it's just kind of collecting. Everything's just kind of getting bunched up, thrown in the bin, but it keeps getting bigger. That's my take on it, anyway.
So, so you're thought seizing yourself.
Oh yeah. You know what? I have a foil funeral charm that I'm going to do that to myself too. Like it's happening.
Okay, so that's kind of interesting. I like the fact that they are target players, so that if we really need to get something out of our hands and into the grave, that's a unique way to do it.
Oh, it's
Um,
happening. They won't see it happening. They're going to see thought seize. They're going to roll their eyes, and then I'm going to say targeting me, and then it's going to get real good.
all right, so you want to get cards into the graveyard. I actually want to cast elves so that they can eventually die, and we can pay life and draw a card. So I guess let's start with a couple of your cards that you think should be going in this deck. So who do we got on the platter first?
Well, like I said, the 1 mana kind of discard cards, I guess, is what I'm going to be going for. If you got Elvzac, if you got, I don't care. As long as it's an elf, it's going in the bin. I don't care. So if you want to put wards in there, if you want to do any fancy thing, like that's all you,
Okay.
buddy. Because I don't even care what their name is. If it says creature type elf, I'm throwing it in the bin. So with that being said, here, yeah, I'll go over them again. But we have the ever so great Thoughtseize.
I named it targeting myself for this section.
Beautiful.
You said divest.
Divest, yep.
Oh my goodness.
It's a hidden gem, Raven's Crime, because it also has retrace, and that says target player discards a card.
And I'm fairly positive that's an elf in the art.
In the art, yeah. Hundo
Okay.
P.
Okay.
But the Raven is committing a crime upon the elf. Funeral Charm's going to go in there. Like I said, if you want to make that foil, just because I have one, if you want to be sweet, you can do that. You don't have to. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, right out there, out of a mystery booster, because I actually got one myself.
Beautiful.
Okay, was that your hand disruption for ourselves?
No, you got Cabal Therapy. I can keep going. Um, we can always take away from this, right? Of course, but
Yep, I like this because you can sacrifice a creature for flashback, so that we can sacrifice the creature. We can pay one and a life, as long as that's an elf, which we're only going to have elves in this deck, and get to draw a card
yes,
off
sir.
of it too, and potentially make Abomination of Llanowar bigger. So that's kind of nice.
Now, if you want to, I think I only have a couple more. Like I said, we can maybe take them away. Like
Oh,
I'm pretty set on this idea.
I bet you are.
Okay, so there was Entomb as well,
See, now we're playing the kind of cards I like.
right? Entomb. So this was like another way. Like I just wanted it to be one mana
Yeah,
to cast this stuff,
yeah,
right?
that's
So
super great. If we're playing elves, they're typically low CMC, and these being one drop black spells is actually super good for us here.
and then did you get blackmail in there? I think. And you know what? And then after Inquisition of Kozilek, like I said, maybe Buried Alive because you could put 3. You're getting
Yeah, I'm fine with Buried Alive. It's another card that I absolutely love.
all right. Well, that's my little tidbit for now. What were you wanting to do with it initially?
All right, so I really like elves as a tribe, but they've always been in colors that I didn't really care for. Like green is fine, but I really liked black elves, and we didn't really have much for them. So now that we have these, awesome commander pairings, or even just Abomination of Llanowar, I wanted to play with all the elves cards I have not got to play with. So
Oh
um,
yeah.
one of the first cards that seemed absolutely bonkers to me was this guy here. Nightshade Harvester. Have you read this card?
I haven't.
Let me fill you in here. Let me just help people.
Elf people.
Elf Nightshade Harvester is 3 and a black for Elf Shaman 2/2. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, that player loses 1 life. Put a +1/+1 counter on Nightshade Harvester. How nuts is that?
It's pretty sweet. I like again. I'm just excited that it says creature elf. But yeah, it's a pretty sweet card. If you were to play that, if that was on the battlefield, that'd be pretty okay, I guess.
All right, so let's also add this elf person that just recently got reprinted as well as an uncommon.
Yeah, a lot of this
Imperious
deck actually will be available within the last couple of sets that released, which is nice.
Imperious Perfect Tune of green for an elf warrior 2/2. So it's already an anthem for elves. Other elves get +1/+1. Then you can pay a green and tap it to put a 1/1 elf green warrior creature token into play. So Abomination of Llanowar for you cares about elves on the battlefield and in the graveyard, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to
And
make it quick and easy though. So like of course, like he's gonna benefit as well if there's on the
mhm.
battlefield.
And this gives us just some other, other way to make creatures because we're elves, we want to go wide, and we also want to be able to
you
sacrifice.
you want to go wide, go on. No,
I
sorry.
guess. Gee, um,
You wait until my removal package. You're gonna shrug your head even further.
this card, I'm super super excited that I finally get to play. Shaman of the Pack. This is a super hidden gem. Um, Whenever Shaman of the Pack enters the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to the number of elves you control.
Ooh, okay.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. So what's really cool is for stuff like this, we can even play. Oh gosh, what's the name of the card? One black. Ah, goodness, what is it? It's one black and it lets you reanimate a creature with CMC 3 or less. Oh my goodness, I cannot
That's gonna
think of.
bug me now too.
I literally just put it in a deck before we started talking. I'm gonna find this. Bear with us, folks.
I'm drawing a blank here too.
Oh my goodness, I cannot think, and I'm
Is that
super
on Earth?
frustrated. I think it is Unearth.
No.
I think it is. Maybe. Yeah, it is. Boom.
Yeah. Okay, we got there.
So this is gonna hit probably our entire our entire deck for creatures.
That's
Like
okay.
Nightshade Harvester is probably gonna be in the very fine amount of creatures that it's not going to hit.
Hilarious.
Um, there was something
That and
else.
maybe Beast Whisperer. There's a couple
Uh,
of them out there that it won't hit, but other than that,
yeah, but I mean, primarily, there's a ton. Um, Morrowind's also another one that also benefits from our other commander that isn't there for the color pairing at all. So this one cares about +1/+1 counters, and this guy cares about +1/+1 counters. So whenever we
okay,
tap, yeah, so whenever we tap, we can add green mana equal to Marin's power. So we can,
okay.
play out our
Oh,
entire
also,
hand.
I'm sure with your trading spree that you went on with all your etched, I'm sure you have it. But if you don't, that Maria or however you pronounce her name, I do have that etched. If you want me to send it your way,
I do. I
yeah,
actually,
I figured.
um, Yeah, I actually didn't pick one up because I thought you were sending me one. I that's one of my favorite things about our group is that, like, I've talked to you guys and you're just like, "Yeah, I'm not using it, you send it my way," and it's just it makes me super, super happy because then it's even better because it's not just one that I picked up from trade, it's one that I got from someone I actually like.
Friends. Yeah, I hear you
Yes.
there. Yeah, no, I get you.
Um, who's another so these are
And
kind
I like the fact that I got to. No one will ever see this unless you actually go back to the other YouTube video gameplay where he shows it on stream. I gave Zach the, I guess what was it, the green white flip land from,
Yep.
yeah, and then he wanted me to sign it, so I just got those paint pens out, and I think I did 3 layers just for just for a good 3D effect. I can't remember. I don't think it turned out well, but it was still fun
I think
doing
it turned out perfect.
it. Okay.
This is another thing I wanted to use that was in, Commander Legends was Pride of the Perfect. Elves you control get +2/+0.
I would be okay with that being on the battlefield. Okay. All right, your
Uh,
side of the deck's kind of warming up to me a little bit
I
here.
we wanna make, your abomination have more heads and arms, and it looks
And
like it only has 2 legs, though.
I mean that's all you need. Left foot, right foot, right? Forward progress. And
So
then you hit some downhill terrain and then you're probably just solid with
so
the
something
levitate.
that you want elves on the battlefield or in the graveyard, let's talk about some weird stuff that the Lorwyn block gave us. How about some tribal enchantments?
Hey, that
So,
works. That
uh,
works for the bin.
yes,
We actually just found that out right before making the video here.
so this gives us more. I'm going to put this with elf people because it's basically elf people. Um,
What do you
so,
mean, elf people? No, sorry, go.
so Prowess of the Fair is one in a black for a tribal enchantment. So tribal enchantments are big during the lore one block, and this specifically calls out elves. So Abomination of Llanowar is going to see this in battlefield or graveyard, and whenever another non-token elf whenever non-token elf is put into your graveyard from play, you may put a 1/1 green elf creature token into play.
That's pretty nasty.
I enjoy it. So those are some things. What are some other things you want to see in this deck? Because it's starting to shape up, I think, fairly okay. I was kind of on the fence about this whole section here, but
Oh yeah.
could be interesting.
Well, we could kind of move into the removal since we haven't really, I don't think we've really planned that out together because I
Mhm.
think you and I had some different ideas there. And my idea for the removal, and it could work. I guess it could work if you're going wide. It'll kind of draw the attention. You'll be able to get in some damage here. But with my intent, with the true commander of this deck, the Abomination of Llanowar, there's a card called Gift of the Deity. And now it's a 5 CMC spell. It's 4 and hybrid black green. It's enchant creature. And it says, as long as enchanted creature is black, it gets +1/+1 in death touch. And as long as the creature is green, it gets +1/+1, and all creatures able to block it do so.
I like this.
So
I
kind
love
of like I'm in my head, I'm picturing this elf ball like rolling or running or what have you, and it's just kind of it's taking everything in. It's like it's got menace already, so I said, hey, why not try to get more? And we're just gonna roll over as many things as we can with an elf ball.
Do you have anything that gives trample?
I think everything I had here was a couple trample, but I think it was more or less death touch that I wanted and indestructible. So the
Okay.
gift of the deity there, I think that's the best example of it. Now, of course, not every card can be like that. So there's like some pseudo stuff I have to put together, like the card Lure,
Ah,
which is the enchantment that just says all creatures able to block enchanted creature do so. Now, I'm also hoping that this elf is big enough that it might not even like to clear a board. Just swing once, and if its power and toughness are high enough, then that's considered a one-way board wipe, is what I'm hoping anyway.
Okay,
So yeah.
I can see what you're saying here.
And then within that, Infiltration Lens says whenever equipped creature becomes blocked by a creature, you may draw 2 cards. So since I was going that route, I'm like, okay, if I can get numerous things to block me, then that's 2 per block. I'm so down.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to block with at least 2 creatures,
Yeah, with
regardless of
menace.
whatever's
Yeah,
going on.
exactly. So even having that equipped, whether it says like, all creatures able to block do so or not, I really wanted that mechanic. And then like kind of in the back of my mind right now, though, if you're going wide with elves and you get all of your creatures to block 1, then you're kind of getting through 2. So that might benefit your side of the deck as well, which is nice. And then
So
within that, yeah, Basilisk Color for Death Touch Lifelink. I think that's hilarious too with this. And I had one more. Oh, yes. The probably highest CMC card that's going to be in this deck, Revenge of the Hunted. Now, if we top deck it, we can cast it for 1 green. However, if we don't, it costs 6. And that's until the end of turn, target creature gets +6/+6, gains trample, and all creatures able to block it do so. That's kind of everything in one for 1 green mana, hopefully.
so okay, I see some of the stuff you're doing here. Been kind of thinking since you've been talking, and
Yeah, let's see
so
what you got.
if I could spell, so you like Death Touch.
I
I
do.
like Death Touch, so let's add this guy. Poison Tip Archer. Reach Death Touch. Whenever another creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life. We got tons of elves that we're probably going to want to die. Um, so yeah, we'll do this. And also another option for the black partner pairing for this group, the Dear Agent of Duskanil. I think is how you say that.
Another new card?
Yeah. So, legendary creature, elf warrior, 3/3 for 6, which is pretty steep. But whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Nadir. Whenever Nadir leaves the battlefield, create a number of 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens equal to its power. This
Ooh, and that's got partner, doesn't it?
it does, and it's nice because it pairs with Numa, so we can constantly keep growing it. Um, and
I'm excited.
there's another there's another guy that I'm trying to think of that puts counters. There we go. That's what it is. Immaculate Magistrate. Another card that just got recently reprinted.
Oh,
Uh,
look at that. Look at that art on that. That's fantastic.
isn't it? Tap, put a +1/+1 counter on target elf for each elf you control. That there's so many counters going everywhere. We need something to kind of take advantage of things dying. So let's add another new card that is super
Okay.
sweet. Kadir's Nightblade. Whenever a token you control leaves the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. You gain 1 life.
All right.
It's
Okay. I can see
it's
that. Yeah.
yeah, it's shaping. It's shaping.
It's shaping.
Um, we
It's
need
pretty cool.
we need some ways to sacrifice our dudes. Do you have anything like that?
I do, but you're not going to like it. Because again, like I came in here, I'm like, yeah, put everything to the bin. This is gonna be great. Like, and I thought about this great tech for it because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna prosper. Everybody else is just gonna probably cry. Get ready to type this in there, Zach. Tainted Aether.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is the end of the series. If you're seeing me add this card, I uh Oh, I
So
can't
you
even
could
type everything.
So my thought with this is like, hey, yeah, we'll have to cast a couple of elves to get them. Like, if I don't have any thought seas or anything like that in my head, I can cast the elf, sacrifice it, put it to the bin, and then everybody else has to do that too. But I want my stuff in the bin. That's where my mindset was with that. When you play this deck, you might just have a dead card in your grip. However, I'm gonna have the biggest grin on my face when I when I draw into that. Let me tell you.
Uh, yeah, I wonder. So this has burnt me before. So let's do some research really quickly.
Sure.
Tainted ether. Uh, guess what? There is no there's no oracle text. Whenever a creature ETBs, its controller sacks a creature or land. Okay, so we can. No, wait. Actually, that's not bad. Okay, let's think
It
about
isn't
this
that bad. It's
logically.
amazing. There's no logic in it. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna slap it down. And
So let's say.
there's no logic behind it all you want. Okay, fine. I'll let you talk here, but there's no logic behind it. I can assure you there.
All right, so let's say we already have, I don't know, Nadir down, and then we play Tainted Ether, and we somehow make a elf token. We can just sacrifice that elf token to Tainted
Okay.
Ethers. Yeah, so okay.
And
That's
then he gets the +1/+1 counter, right? So
yeah. Yeah. And
you're like, I know.
poison tip archer does stuff.
And I'd love to be like, hey, this is up for negotiation, but I'm not gonna budge on this one.
This card feels so bad. Like it's a strong card, but man, I think it'll still work. But we need to, God, I need to find ways
And then
to.
the only other card that I think I had high CMC in it. It was kind of like a win con for Abomination of Llanowar if he's doing like all this creature blocking and whatnot. And I was gonna have Revel and Riches in there.
Okay.
Because if it's all creatures able to block it, do so. If they have a pretty big board, then we could probably get to that pretty fast. Plus, if we have Tainted Ether out and they have to sacrifice a creature, then it kind of, like you see the synergy there at least, maybe.
I mean, I see it. I'm just feeling some kind of way right now. Ugh, man,
Blown
that's
away in excitement. I can see it in your face clearly.
so if we have all these creatures that are probably going to die, uh, let's
Well, I mean, like you you have what your reanimation package there. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that? Because if they are gonna die, what do you got right now to kind of balance that? Let me.
we're gonna have to play Agadeem's Awakening. There's there's literally no way around this
Oh,
card.
is that from Zendikar Rising? Is that
Yep.
yeah?
X black black black. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each have a different CMC X or less. And we're also going to play Patriarch's Bidding. This card's a little expensive as far as monies,
Ah,
but
I saw the yellow border one's actually not bad if you can find one of those. I think
okay.
the yellow border one I got for the goat horde deck that I made.
Mhm.
God, I think I only paid 12 Canadian dollars for it.
Is that in loonies and toonies?
That's in loonies and toonies.
The best monies. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, each player chooses a creature type. Each player returns all creature cards of that type that they chosen way from his or her graveyard. I just keep thinking someone playing this, like me playing this card, and still having Tainted Ether out. So like,
At that point, you go buy lands. Yeah, at
all
that point,
right,
if you got all those elves on the battlefield, then you just sacrifice your lands at that
I
point, I think.
didn't. I wanted to avoid this card because it's not an elf, but I feel like you've forced me into it. I want this art for it too. We're going Zulaport Cutthroat. It's not an elf person, so I'm gonna put it
Yeah,
in.
no, you got to make a whole new category for it. Just
I did. Bad people use these cards. Look, if you're gonna make me play Tainted Ether in a deck, we're playing Zulaport Cutthroat, so I at least can feel
and
something.
in my mind, I'll just pretend that that elf ball, like he's in there somewhere. It was an accident, but he got absorbed there somehow.
Um, sure,
Just
sure.
like just because it's not elf tribal now, Zach. So that's
Oh,
what.
you know what? I didn't think about this guy. 'Cause someone's gotta make some sense of this deck.
Hey, welcome to our deck tech. It's an elf ball +1. No.
So we're running. We have to run Azuri Renegade Leader, because we can pay 5, and elf creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample until end of turn.
Okay. All right. I'm okay
So
with that. You can
what's
either,
cool
yeah.
what's cool about this is if it has trample and we give it death we give Abomination Death Touch, we should just be able to assign 1 point of damage to each creature that blocks, right?
Yeah, I can see that. I also like how your sales tactic here. You're talking about my commander. Meanwhile, I know fully well that you want to go wide with it. So I like your sales pitch here, Zach. Good job. I'm
You
in.
know, man, you're making me play Tainted Ether. I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying so hard.
You don't
Uh,
have to play it. You
I
know what?
no.
Matter of fact, you could just despise me as much as you want. You could thought seize yourself and get it out of get it out of your hand if you really wanted to.
We're also gonna play this card, I think, because you like Death Touch.
I do like Death Touch.
Another new one, uh,
Man, this
Elvis
it's
Dreadlord.
Commander Legend's so good.
This card is just nuts. 5, it's 3 black black for 3/3 Death Touch. When it dies, so when stupid Tainted Ether makes me sacrifice it, non-elf creatures get -3/-3, and you can encore for 5 black black.
I like how in all of your scenarios it's on the battlefield.
This is what I
no, no matter
this
what.
is this is what I've learned. If there's a card I don't wanna play,
Oh, you're
guess
drawing
what?
it? Uh,
I end up playing it. Like,
So what you're
it's
saying is I want this in the deck, but like I'll never draw into it, but you will? Is that the is that the
yes,
odds that you're spitting at me right now?
yes. Um, I keep I'm gonna keep going wide, I don't care.
Sure.
You've pushed me into this. It's
I
a
feel like I've forced enough onto this deck that you have a little fun with that, okay?
I was just here it is, I was super excited to play all these cool black, elf creatures from Commander Legends that all,
You
like,
still can. Go
Exquisite
for it.
Huntmaster, when it dies, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token and encore for 5. Nah, it just all the work that you're putting into this just right out
You know,
the right out the window.
hey, if you're playing your partners, it's just 2 dead draws. Okay? That's just you can get past that. Look at all the Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Divest, and all that. You could use that to your advantage still. You don't have to
Uh,
be,
so I think
you don't have to be that mean.
I think we add one more elf
This is my deck
creature.
too, Zach. You don't have to be that mean, okay?
I think we add one more elf creature, then let's talk some more removal that isn't us getting stuff out of our hand. Uh, oh, this is one word. Because when people see Tainted Aether, they're gonna be out for blood. They're gonna say, "Wait, that card does what?"
I came across it first in a Mogus list, of course.
That sounds like something Brian would play. He likes playing mean cards, and then wonders why he gets killed first.
I was new to that. I think when I started modding on the stream there, I think everybody was like, "Kill Brian first," and I had no idea what was going on or why. I was like, I hadn't really talked too much to Brian at that point. I'm like, why is he a bad person? What did he do to deserve that? Is he
Uh,
okay?
he never
And
shares the loonies or toonies. That's the
oh, is
problem.
that it?
That's the issue. If my computer would quit being goofy here and just make up its mind. I haven't seen buffering like this since I was still using dial-up.
I was gonna start making a dial-up tone.
Ah, there we go.
There
Well
you go.
wisher. Like we play well wisher, right? Gain 1 life for
That's
each elf
the
on the
game on life.
battlefield. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like in my instance, that'll be like I'll gain 2 life, but for you, that could be a lot of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can throw that in there. Like, hey, whatever kind of card you want to put in there, because I put Tainted Aether in there. You go for it, okay?
Well, we kind of
You
need to
you you,
balance. We're
you
gonna
got
have to.
you have a gimme right there, okay? I'll give that to you.
We kind of had to
Sure.
put this in here because people are gonna see stuff and they're gonna need. We're gonna have to gain life, especially. Well, yours that. Yeah, Abomination has vigilance.
Vigilance, yeah.
Okay, so this deck is looking pretty decent. We've got 10 more spots open. Our average CMC is 2.77, which feels pretty decent at 33 lands.
It's not bad. The one thing I wish, like again, Elf Ball, so happy, excited. Abomination of Llanowar. I don't know if you remember from Theros. There was the 1,000 hand dude, where if you went monstrous, you could block any
Ah,
number of creatures.
yep, thousand-handed one.
1,000 hand, yeah, yeah. So like, I just pictured, I was like, well, I couldn't have had that, because I'm just picturing all these like elf, elf hands coming out of him, right? Able to block whatever. Like that's like, I
Well,
think I would upshift it to a rare though. So God forbid, if you want to play some,
it's green. I'm surprised it doesn't already have it at uncommon.
yeah, so that's what I was picturing. I was just like, oh man, that'd be great. Because monstrous, it makes sense. It's an abomination. I was like, all the pieces are there.
All of them.
All of
Every
them.
every last one. All right, let's talk some removal. There was a piece that I was excited about after you mentioned how the uh, tribal spells work. So I wanted to run this. I used to think it was like the coolest removal spell. It's Eye Blight's ending. It's 2 and a black for tribal instant elf. Destroy target non-elf creature. So it's another way, we can
Okay.
squeeze in synergies without, you know.
Frantically researching. That's
Yeah,
that's a
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's Architect or if it's my computer. I'm fairly positive it's Architect though. There we go. And
there
it
you go.
has this weird art. I'm pretty sure this elf is killing a giant.
Oh, how nice.
Have to
Your
make this little.
categories kill me.
I need them, dude. I do it for the people. That that way everyone knows.
Oh, one card that I will be getting that you might as well put in this is the Assassin's Trophy. Because I'm
Oh,
pretty sure
the
that new art's gonna pop up right when you.
yeah.
Yeah.
God, I'm so excited about that secret layer. Super
Like,
good. Look how it look how it looks in Architect. You just see Assassin's Trophy so like
so
ah,
prominent. Yeah.
I love it. That's great. Um, one of my old tried and true removal spells go for the throat. We need some artifact and enchantment removal
Well, Beast Within.
within.
And
Frantically
then
research. There we go. Wonder if I can save now.
Nature's Claim, because I don't care about them gaining 4 life. They can.
Yeah, that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Where'd you, oh, there we go. You might be able to curry some favor with someone after dropping Tainted Ether by nature's claiming something of theirs so they can gain life.
Ooh.
Just, you know, just a thought. God, I can't believe you said, "Oh, Tainted Aether. That's what
I,
card we're playing."
I kept that one from you.
You did. I felt dirty. I'm viewing audience at home. I apologize. I didn't know this was the kind of deviant I was working with.
No,
Um, what I want. Oh, I know what we need to put. If I can spell.
I don't think either of us can spell. So,
I can't. I'm so excited for everyone to tell me how awful I am at spelling. Um, Triumph of the Horde.
ooh, I'm in. Say no more. I mean, you might
Where's
have to
my?
tell people, the people
There we
watching.
go.
I'm sure they've heard of the card, but if not, that's just a doozy.
2 green for a sorcery until in a turn. Creatures you control get +1/+, and gain trample and infect until in a turn.
In fact, so good.
You only need 10 infect to, win the game by killing everyone else. I think we put putrefy in here, right?
Yeah,
I think that's fine. And
I was gonna say feed the swarm, but I don't think we need to because we have green.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of why I was avoiding it. How do you feel about Golgari Charm? The regenerate each creature, I think,
I
could
mean,
be
it's got
relevant.
anything that says choose one, anything that you got options for, I'm okay with.
Okay, that can probably go. I'll still put it over
Hey,
here.
it's a lot like this series. Choose one.
Play Tainted Ether. Don't play Tainted Ether.
it's one deck, but choose one within it. It's one card, but you get to choose one option.
How do you feel about the
Very fitting.
clash? How do you feel about the clash mechanic? Did you ever play with clash?
I don't think I ever clashed.
Okay. Don't have to play this card, but I want to see what you think of this. So, Guiltleaf Ambush is 2 and a green for a tribal instant elf. Put 2/1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens into play. Clash with an opponent. If you win, those creatures gain death touch until end of turn.
Yeah, I'm down.
You're down.
I'm
It,
down.
it was the
And
death touch, right?
yeah, it was the death touch. And it says elf on there. So if that's in the bin,
It's just another
just
another
another
thing.
piece of the puzzle there. See,
Um,
at least with all those one mana cost like discards and whatnot, at least you get something out of it. Like like that's the compromise. At
I
least you can
think
kind of just disrupt people's hands while you try to go wide. At least you
I
have
think
that option.
I think the
And I
last
think that,
card for this deck is Golgari Fine Broker because we don't have Eternal. I mean, we could play Eternal Witness, but I think one non-elf creature is fine in this deck.
I mean, like I said, it's elf ball +1.
Yeah. That way we can get stuff back. Oh, I think we need to. I made
So
a
so basically, there's all these elves. They have their table reservations and whatnot. They're all having a blast, and then you have Mr. Noble himself, kind of just like hanging outside, looking in. Like wishing that he was there. Basically, any kind of movie from the '90s where someone's down on their luck. Um,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah. I think there's one card that needs to be added, but I'm trying to think of what to take out. I'll show you the card and you can tell me. Phyrexian Reclamation. Probably one of my favorite cards ever printed. Um, 1 in a black, pay 2 life, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. I think that card needs to go in here.
Sure,
I think
I
we get rid
agree.
of Unearth. I think the 3 reanimation pieces we have are solid enough.
Especially since one's Patriarch's Bidding. That's just gonna.
For
Oof.
for every time that we decide to you know
Everybody else on the into the 99 team are now packing more graveyard hate into their decks.
I'm fairly positive that's my fault, and I'm okay with that. If that's how I if that's how I've been labeled in this group, I'm here for it. Wow. Benny, that's 100
That-
cards.
That's a hundo cards.
I, you know, I feel like this could easily switch between these partners we agreed upon being
The
the right
three.
partners.
Yeah. Well, you got three partner mechanics there, right? So you can
Uh,
even mix it up.
yeah, if you wanted to switch out Mira for
Nadir, whatever his name.
Nadir,
Yeah.
I was mainly talking between the two partners that are actually in the command zone or your elf ball, but you know, whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. I
I
just,
mean,
you know, what card I'm surprised you didn't suggest. What's is it? One with nothing.
so I had a cheeky idea,
Hmm.
and okay, so I already, said Tainted Aether, and I was just like, oh, like he's already gonna be mad about that. I just to keep things going in the bin, depending on how good of a draw engine we had, I was going to put one with nothing onto an Isochron Scepter. I
Oh
was
my
just gonna keep.
god. I I
And
don't.
anytime I was like, oh hey, look, like at least three cards or whatever, like I was just gonna keep tapping that for two, tossing things in the bin, making the abomination bigger. And then I said, you know what, Tainted Aether's probably enough of a reach that I'm not gonna try to take up two slots with something
So
like that.
so there's 24 creatures, and how many how many other things that make well, I guess we have a bunch of different ways to make creatures in this deck, don't we? That your elf ball
Yeah,
could get pretty massive very quickly. I just
well,
could
that's the plan.
could you imagine sitting down at the table and, you're playing with someone and they cast Isochron Scepter and you're waiting, like they're in black green. What are they gonna pick? Like one with nothing.
Right? Right? Oh,
What?
yeah.
Oh,
So
what?
maybe you know what? You know what, Zach? Maybe in my version of this deck when I build it, maybe I take out your partner commanders, and that's what I do. I put one with nothing and Isochron
That's
Scepter.
that's fine. I'm not giving you crap. I'm just saying I could imagine like if we were sitting down, shuffled up, we're playing, and someone like normally when I hear Isochron Scepter, like
Dramatic reversal or
yeah, like my stomach,
whatever.
I get a pit in my stomach, like oh man, I don't have interaction for this right now.
Uh, and then you go,
One with nothing. I'm printing one with nothing.
and then I guess you
What?
like they probably just go, resolves? Question mark?
No, I think what happens is someone says what's one with nothing? I've
Oh,
never
that
heard of
one.
that card in
True,
existence.
yeah.
Well, I guess I should pull it up for people to
Sure.
see.
Humor, humor
This
me, please.
one with nothing is a one black instant rare out of the. Is this Saviors? It's one of the
One
Kawagamas.
of the Kamigawas, yeah.
Discard
At
your
at
hand.
rare, at the rare slot.
The art is amazing,
Oh, it's
but
fantastic.
discard your hand.
Right? So if you have okay, my thought, even if this was like even this was turn one, like if you had a no lander, but you had one with nothing in your hand, you had a bunch of elves. I'm okay with that start. Because as soon as you drop Abomination, he's gonna be thick. So that was my mindset on that anyway.
I mean, I get it. It
Like,
uh,
because I've kept a no lander before, but this would be with reason. This would actually be like a good cause for it.
I think I
So
have a headache now.
quotations like good cause.
I
You know?
think I have a headache, Vince. Wha- ah, this is the guy that
And this is why our decks technically we try to make them work together, but
I think this is
we
I
don't.
do think this is a good deck. I think it's a very solid deck. Um,
I'm excited that I think we can pilot it two different ways.
mhm.
So if anybody watching is leaning towards yours or my like kind of strategy behind it, like how I would pilot it or how you would pilot it, like
And that's
at
what I
least
try
there's
to keep.
option.
That's what parallel thoughts is all about. It's trying to make these decks work with different functions. Like it just so happened that Benson did whatever he wanted to do and decided to go with
and
Abomination of Llanowar
and Tainted Aether.
and Tainted Ether.
Hmm.
But I think this deck does function very well if you want to switch between the two partner pairings or Abomination of Llanowar. I think it'll be able to play just fine. Um, I'm not going to go through. Well, I don't think we should go through lands. Do you really want to go through lands? I just have the
No,
33 forest, but obviously, that's not what would probably go in this.
a land base is what you make of it, right? Like,
Mhm.
if someone in your group plays Blood Moon in every deck, add goofbumps. If you, if you're like my friend there and you play Blood Moon in every deck you can, I don't run too many non-basics just because of that, which slows my decks down a little bit, but not this one. Not
Yeah,
this
this
fall cometh. This is
like I
fantastic. You
said,
don't need,
that's a 2.76 average CMC for your mana curve,
and that's just because we have a couple of thick boys in there, a couple of 6 or 5 or 6 CMCs, but the rest is just like 1 to 3,
that's yeah,
which is
like let's
phenomenal.
let's look here. We have 21 3 CMC spells, 16. Oh, I guess I go in order. 16 1 CMC, 12 2 CMC, 21 3 CMC, 10 4 CMC, 6 5 CMC, and 2 6 CMC. This
But
is
with our ramp and whatnot, with the actual elves that tap for green and whatnot too, like we're not too worried about that.
no, not at all. Whoa. Oops.
Oh,
Don't mind me.
hello,
I'm just doing code. Yeah, whew,
ladies.
we got some.
I'm just doing code, ladies. I don't think anybody would actually ever say that. Anyway,
We've got some
we
heaters
have
in
a
this
pretty good
deck.
deck. Yeah,
I'm happy
I-
with that.
I'm happy. I'm happy with it too.
My head hurts from tainted ether,
I'm
but
still
that's
looking at that assassin's trophy. That's what my eyes are drawn to.
oh yeah. Ah. It's just so pretty. Well, Benson, I think that does it for this episode of Parallel Thoughts. Do you have anything you want to share with the group before we go?
I honestly, I'm just pumped to do this again. I think, just to kind of get a feel for it, it's going to be a couple videos, but we're going to probably bring it to the live stream soon enough, as soon as we kind of get our crap together, Zach and I, and we're
Yes,
able to. And then, when we learn how to spell, the both of us, and
that'll
we
never happen. My
no.
dyslexia is way too strong for this.
So that 1 hour streams might become 2 hour streams depending on
Who's typing?
who's typing.
Is
But
that
I'm excited to do this. I know that we have a couple of different uh, commanders that we want to build, especially with this new Commander Legend set coming out. We had our eye on the same
yeah,
commanders, but I have a feeling that we're not going to want to build them the same way. But heck,
probably
we'll brew them
not.
together, and I'm
If
excited
you
for
have
it.
any suggestions or wants you want to see, please feel free to, like I said, uh, tweet at us or comment below in the video or anything you'd like. Just get a hold of us and tell us
If
because
you want to talk to me directly right now, I'm running the Reddit account, so that's under you into the 99 podcast or r/into the 99. To talk with me directly, I put up weekly discussions, but you can feel free to talk to me about whatever you want.
and if you want to reach out to me directly, I'm at NekroZach on Twitter. I will respond to pretty much whatever. Um, And you can always listen to us on our podcast, Into the 99, which we have new episodes up every Sunday at 12 MST. We also stream live Commander games every Tuesday at 7 p.m. EST.
Yep.
And
And if you're feeling like a social butterfly, there's also the Discord where you can talk to all of us all at once.
huge shout out to our sponsor, Edge Gaming. Edge Gaming, you can find them on Etsy for all the bling you want outside of the game. So
Oh,
not
and
so
you
much
need to check
cards.
that out right now because the new product that he just put
These
out. Oh
all
my
the trays.
Lanta. Yeah,
Yes.
the new trays.
I'm not even gonna tell you guys about it, just go look, it's that good. I
Just
can't
go
do it
look.
justice with words.
Nope.
Uh, and finally, if you would like to support us financially, we do have a Patreon. Um, give us money and help us out. We give you cool stuff.
Please, if you enjoy our content and you feel like helping that content grow, yes, please join our Patreon, I think is what Zach meant to
Yeah,
portray there.
please give us money to give you more stuff. It's like bartering, right?
This is my tainted aether. You talking to me about this right now. Anyway, guys, um, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good night.